So when we left off here, I had to go ahead and add about 4 coats of paint to this. The white to cover some of the colors underneath. But we got it done, and now we're ready to proceed. So I have my lighthouse in there. I have the light tower, and we're ready to start the roof and work on the light tower itself. And if you notice, unlike this one, in this one I just decided to put a reflection in. So basically doing a reflection is exactly what you just did with the lighthouse, only upside down. And don't make it so clear. Instead of using 5 coats of paint in drying, every coat, just use 1 coat of paint and leave it as that. I put some blue through it, so it looks like, you know, there's water, there's a reflection. And if you notice down in here too, you still have the reflection of the clouds and the water. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on the tower here, the light tower, and that's the black part. And the reason why I'm going to do that before I do this is because I don't want to do the roof and then put my hand over the roof and put red all over here. So let's work with the top first and work our way down. So with this, the tower requires a very, very, very thin brush. This is just about as thin as they come. Once again, this is an Artist Loft, good brushes. And go ahead and dip it in your paint. Now, you dip it, it's like dipping an ink pen into an ink bottle and then putting your pen directly on the paper. You will get a smudge. So what you want to do is, once you get the paint on your paintbrush, kind of just touch the piece of paper or the cloth that you're working on to dry some of that initial paint off. That should be pretty good. And then that way you won't get a smudge. So what I'm doing is I'm turning my canvas and I'm creating the tower. Now there's plenty of pictures out there too in brochures, etc., that show different places where photographers have taken pictures and different artists have painted pictures of this. And so if you don't like exactly this perspective, well, there's a lot more to choose from. Or you can make up your own. So basically what I'm doing now is making the tower. Got that done. Once again, I have to dip my brush and make sure you get the initial blob off the end. And very, very carefully add paint to your tower. This little paintbrush is so handy. Okay, so that looks pretty good. You get the sides, and you get the sides, and then, you know, in the middle there's kind of a little shadow of a thing, and that's actually is the light itself. Also, if you've noticed, above the roof on the tower, there's a little tiny circle. And out of that circle is, I think it almost looks like a lightning rod. but it's so small you probably couldn't see it from here. So while you still have your black on, you know that there's a window here, and then we'll put another window here. And we know there's shutters, but you're too far away, you're not going to see the shutters. Also, right here. And I'll tell you another good way to spare yourself from having to use such a fine brush if you're just going to do a straight line. And that is to, I don't want to spread it, that is to use a black ink pen. And you see right here, right below the light itself, there's a black line. And that is noticeable. And it's more noticeable when there's shadows. But just take a black pen. There. See how I just added that, and that adds your little bit of dimension, and that's not cheating. So okay, now we're done with that. So let's add just a little bit of. Have you ever walked down to the lighthouse in the any time of year, and you think it's still early in the morning, and you think, oh my, they've turned the lighthouse on. They've turned the light on, only to discover that it's the sun shining through the prisms. So let's just do something fun here. Add a little bit of light, and let's just turn this inside, just for fun. Put a little light in there. There. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is work on the roof of the house. And we know that's a beautiful red. And so for this, I use a burgundy. It's not a bright red, but it sticks out, and it's such a pretty color that the closest color that I could find to match it is this, like I said, the burgundy. So with your thin brush, just go ahead and take your roof down. Remember where I said the end of the roof is straight up? So we're still right there. We're still in perspective. We're still doing the right thing. So just kind of bring that down, bring your roof down. See how now it really starts to stick out. It's starting to look like the lighthouse. So what I'll do is I'll just add a little bit more blotches of the burgundy in there. And kind of fill that in. And bring it across. And that's our roof. That's the roof. Okay. All right, so I just took a moment and I dried the roof, and you'll notice in this picture, and it really does happen, is that the roof comes out, and then it comes out, and then it curves up just a little bit. And that's kind of neat, kind of distinguishes it from other roofs. So what we just do is we go down, follow that line, bring it up. There you go. That's all there is. And you know, it's just a minor thing. But sometimes minor things can mean a difference. There. See how that little roof comes up over the edge, and then it comes back down here. Spot where I need to put more roof in here, and let's put more roof on top. Now we made we made a reflection in the pond, so we know that there is a roof between here and here. So let's just bring something across here. Very ever so lightly. Just kind of use your same. Don't put a whole lot on your brush. But there. See, that's all you really need, is to show that, there's the roof. Okay, so then what happens is you can use your pen or you can use black paint, and I'm going to use black paint because I'm not doing a perfectly straight line. So right here we notice that there are chimneys. There's two fireplaces, two chimneys in the house, and one is towards the front. So let's put that in. They come down on the roof. And then there's another one towards the back. And do him. And they come down on the roof. Come down on each side of the gable. Okay, so that's basically it. We do have 3 windows. There's a window here. I think there's might be 4 windows, but in here you don't see them all. So there's our windows. Now see how the lighthouse is starting to come to life? It's starting to, my gosh, it's starting to look like a lighthouse. Okay, so that tells me pretty much that I'm pretty happy with this lighthouse, except I noticed that right up here, where it flares out before you get to the very top of the lighthouse, that needs to be fixed just a little bit. So there, now I'm happy with that. Okay, so then our next deal is basically finishing up the landscape. Now, if you notice here on this picture, you can see through these trees. These are these palm trees up here, and you can see through to the water. And I did not leave those blue. So what I'm going to do basically is just kind of put some blue in there, just to let it know that you can see through them, and then we'll cover them up with some green. I think what we have left is some more just a little bit of landscape, and I'm basically done. So once again, I'm adding my green and the black with it, and let's go up here. Let's go here. See there. Now that shows you that there's some depth, and that there's actually light through this particular see why you don't have to be perfect when you're doing the house itself, and that's because the foliage covers it up. Let's see, what else do we need? I want to go a little darker here. Maybe let's add some more height here. I didn't here, but I want to on this one. Add a little more height to the just add your make sure your brush is dry, bring out your grasses so they reflect in the water. I'm still trying to, let's just do one thing, and I want to make sure that, let's try to get this just a little brighter, and we'll see if it works. I think if I manage to get this a little brighter down in here, it'll help everything stick out a little more. Yeah. How it comes down into the weeds, the grasses. I think this cadmium yellow is just about my favorite color in the box here. There. See how that adds a lot of depth to what you have going here. And then finish it off. Boop, 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 boop. A few trees here and there, more bushes. A lot of bushes around this place, you know. And then I did bring this color. This is, what color is this? Light, I call it light green. And it may not work, but I did it on this one, and I kind of like it. It just adds just a hint of maybe light down here in these bushes. Yeah, I like that. And bring some up in here too. Let's distinguish these grasses from the. And let's see. And like I said before, you can just do anything you want to change your picture around. So basically that's it. There is a line of distinction between here and here, so I'm going to do that with this pen. It's just a black line. I'll do that. And I guess that's it. I guess, oh, I know, one more thing. You notice here that when I talked about earlier that the white isn't bright white when you're looking at the sun. The white reflects the sunlight. So once again, let's grab our favorite colors. Let me get a little bit of that, and let's get a little bit of this, and let's just kind of dap it. See, I'm just dapping it. Bit. And then a little bit here. And then this part of the house basically faces east. This part of the house is a little darker because it's covered by trees. So we'll go ahead and we'll take this and we'll darken that in. So that'll distinguish the east part of the house from the north part of the house. And let's see, that's about it. Can you see anything else, Lori, that you would like to have added?
It looks lovely.
All right, here's our lighthouse. Happy painting.